But the industry and buildings of a town are only part of its story. At its center are the people who live there, the human story that is reflected in the pages of its newspaper. For over 100 years, this newspaper has day by day been telling the story of New Bedford. Many civic leaders got their start as one of its paper carriers. It reaches thousands of homes in southeastern Massachusetts, stimulating interest in community activities. To it and to 2 broadcasting stations, the citizens turn to keep abreast of local and world happenings. Like most American industrial cities, New Bedford has a varied population representing many nationality groups. Here, in fiesta mood, is a Portuguese gathering with costumes for the occasion.
Eu gosto de ser alegre, a alegria é coisa boa. A tristeza ao pé de mim não está bem, logo voa. A cantar sinto-me bem, as canções dão alegria. Não passo mal a ninguém, não passo mal a ninguém. Levo a cantar todo o dia. Bato nas palmas do meu, vamos lá mais uma vez, batam todas no meu bico. Bato nas palmas do meu, vamos lá mais uma vez, batam todas no meu bico. Batam nas palmas do meu, vamos lá mais uma vez, batam.
Foreign nationality backgrounds give the city a color and vitality. Summertime festivals and dances keep alive old world traditions and customs. The Polish people, on their holidays, at feasts and weddings, are fond of this gay type of relaxation. This is known as the Krakowiak dance, something you seldom have a chance to see. And the French, with their traditional Canadian quadrille. Young, all these varied nationality citizens are the backbone of a city that met the challenge of progress. But it is as Americans that they live, work, and play. During the busy summer months, tourists from all over flock to sandy beaches in the greater city area. On weekends and half-day work holidays, the townspeople drop their cares and also take advantage of this saltwater playground spot. Surf bathing at other beaches is on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean, with only islands separating the bathers from England. there's no finer sport than sailing. Boats like this youngster sails are built locally, and racing competition is keen. This is one answer to juvenile delinquency that plagues the larger metropolitan cities. Youngsters out on the water, taught to handle their small boats while in their teens. Yes, there is something stimulating about just being near salt water. Sunday afternoon in a park. Well, this is a custom everywhere in the 48 states. In the world, for that matter. The three beautiful large parks here are outranked by few. The city's zoo is an attraction for many out-of-town visitors. This outdoor activity is the wholesome way of life that acts as the cementing influence in any community, that helps it go forward. And where else but in New Bedford could you expect to find a fish derby for the children every summer vacation Saturday, each with his own fish pole, and how they love the fun. A 4-ounce fish may get the prize for the smallest. The biggest? Well, if Dad caught it, he'd toss it right back. But this is for sportsmanship, taught young. And, of course, those prizes are mighty important. With the passing years, New Bedford has more than held its own in the fishing industry. In ground fishing, it is third only to Boston and Gloucester on the Atlantic seaboard, and fourth in the nation. There are 125 boats of all types in the regular fleet, and this is increased by 70 more during the summer months. Unloading goes on hour after hour, every day. It is here in this little auction shed that prices are established for much of the fish in this country and the greater part of the scallops consumed throughout the world today. 85% of the world's supply of sea scallops comes into New Bedford for freezing, packaging, and shipping. Bidding has far-reaching effect in most of the nation's food stores. It determines what is a fair charge per pound for each product of the sea, which will still give the fisherman adequate return for his hard labor. Auctions like this take place daily, and prices are radioed to New York and Boston. The bargaining over. For many of them, it's back to the endless task of helping to empty the holds of their ice-packed fresh cargo. In recent years, these seamen have flocked to New Bedford from Norway, Newfoundland, and Portugal. Some of the fish will be filleted. The rest will go into huge freezing and storage plants not far from the piers. The greatest percentage will be transported by a fleet of huge trucks to various wholesale markets. A number of filleting companies work at the waterfront, preparing certain kinds of fish for boneless eating. There is actually no waste at all to the packers of filleted fish. The housewife gets the best parts. Much of the remainder is dehydrated into meal for animal food and fertilizer. Another use is to grind and freeze the fish residue into blocks for shipment to western mink farms. No bones, not even pieces of skin to spoil the eating. Cellophane coats separate portions, each later to be weighed. Americans usually like scallops, and this is how they start to their final destination, most from this very spot. They are secured in their natural state with dragging equipment in an area 100 to 250 miles southeast of Nantucket Island. The scallop men open them or shuck them from their shells aboard their vessels. Modern machinery, guided by girls, takes care of the scallops once they reach the packing house. Quick freezing compartments have them solidly frozen in no time. Scallops by the ton, off to those who like good seafood. Across this harbor, New Bedford's great past and great present meet. She was a seaborne city from the beginning, but she grew up as the century grew up, becoming a prosperous industrial city as well. Thomas B. Reed, a former Speaker of the House of Representatives, called New Bedford the typical New England city which has shown itself capable of keeping up with a changing world. He said, if its sturdy people could no longer roam the seas, conquering its hugest monster, the whale, they could make the spindles whirl with successful life on shore. The earth, he concluded, has got to be pretty clever to get out of the grasp of a people equally at home on land or sea.